Greetings, friends, and welcome to my guide on Ravana Extreme. Ravana has high DPS checks and requires a lot of raid coordination. This encounter has multiple phases and a hard rage timer of 10 minutes. I will go into each of the mechanics as we make our way through the phases. I'm sure there are many other strategies that work just as well, but these are the ones we learned as a group to best suit our playstyle and composition. Okay, let's get started. First things first. You want to put markers down in these locations. If you look at Ravana, put A near the torch to the right, then put C on the opposite side, then B against the wall in between A and C. This will divide the arena into 4 sections, with 2 people going to each marker as mechanics dictate. So for instance, we have our tanks go to A, our healers go to B, and we split our ranged and melee to C and unmarked. This will matter later in the fight and make learning the encounter much easier. You also want to tank him where he is because in the next phase you will need space to get away from him. In this first phase, Ravana has several different abilities that need to be dealt with. The first ability he will use is called Blinding Blade. This is a very hard-hitting mechanic damaging ability that is instacast and needs to be split between the 2 tanks. You can take this solo, but if you do, you will need a cooldown. Knowing when this move is about to happen is extremely important for later phases, so if all of a sudden you get completely destroyed by Blinding Blade, it's okay. There is definitely a learning curve to predicting this attack. The next ability he will do will put a shield around 3 sides of his targeting circle. It will be one of these 3, the scene left, the scene right, or the scene wings. When the shields go up, if you attack the shielded part, it will get parried and do 0 damage. In addition to this, it will inflict damage and knockback on you, also putting a nasty slow. So never attack a shielded part under any circumstance. Also, AoEs trigger this, so it can be extremely annoying. The scene gives clues to which side is vulnerable. Always go to the opposite. If it is left, attack the right. If it is right, attack the left. If it is wings, go in front of the boss and attack. The next ability he does is called Atmalinga, which is an AoE stomp attack that deals raid-wide damage. The last attack he does in this phase is called Tapasya. It is a frontal conal attack that will knock you back 5 yalms. Ravana will then follow it up with 2 additional slashes, both that need to be avoided by moving to the left, to the right, or through the boss. Knowing when this ability is about to happen is extremely important and requires fast reaction because it is very damaging if you take multiple slashes. The first slash cannot be avoided. This attack will destroy the wall around the arena, so it is very important to not have him too close. The walls must be up for later phases because of pushback abilities, so it is key that this attack is handled correctly by the tank. This phase will continue until his bloodlust bar fills or he is pushed to 87%. Once pushed, he will buff himself. This aggressive stance grants increased damage dealt and taken. He will also begin to cast Prelude to Liberation. This ability has an extremely long cast and very easy to deal with. You simply run away from him, which is why you should tank him where he stands before the pole. Don't try to get a last hit in. If you do, you will get hit for a lot of damage and receive a vulnerability up idiot stack that the whole group can see. The stack lasts 2 minutes and is very humiliating. After the cast, the group should stack in the middle to bait out liquid hells and fire slides. Once the fire slides appear, immediately move to your determined location. Remember the markers? This is where they become important. We have our tanks go to section A, our healers section B, and split our ranged and melee on section C and the unmarked. This way, each quadrant has only 2 people per zone and the group isn't tripping over themselves trying to get to safety. Once the fire slides appear, 5 purple doodads will go over people's heads, so spread out as best you can, not overlapping another player. It's okay to overlap the purple shit, and as long as no one is standing in 2, you should be fine. Ravana will then come down, dealing high damage to the raid. When he returns, he will begin to cast Liberation. This ability is extremely easy to deal with. You simply get behind him, but do not be in his hitbox. He will have his aggressive stance on as well, so deal as much damage as you possibly can here. Once this cast finishes, you want to stack in the middle, because he dives down around the edges of the arena. Once you see him, wait, don't move. He will continue to dive either left or right. Whichever way he dives, dodge the opposite. Then after the dives, he will charge forward. Simply follow these charges to avoid them. When he comes back down, this will transition you into Phase 2. This phase has 2 DPS checks. The first ability Ravana will cast is called Warlord Shield. This is a massive stone skin that must be broken or he will wipe the raid. You will have around 20 seconds to destroy the shield. During this phase, he will continue to do Blinding Blade, Tapasya, the Atmalinga, or the Scene. After the shell is destroyed, butterflies will start to spawn. This is yet another DPS check. You must kill all of the butterflies before they finish their cast, Falling Laughter. If the butterflies are able to finish the cast, they will transform into a sword, which is not good. These butterflies will spawn all over the arena, so it is very important to turn the boss slightly at precise times to not hit the raid with the cleaves. It is best while learning to have both tanks stay on the boss so the off tank is able to share blinding blades with the main tank. Once his bloodlust bar fills and you kill all of the butterflies, he will move to the center and cast Bloody Fuller. This ability does damage based on your performance in the last phase. If any swords spawn, he will put a stack of vulnerability on the whole party per sword, so the more you fuck up, the more you are punished. When Ravana comes back down, he will go into a defensive stance, which reduces the damage he receives. He will also begin to cast Pillars of Heaven. This ability will knock you off of the platform, so you must position yourself so you will be knocked into one of the remaining walls. After the raid is pushed back, stand directly on the boss, because Ravana will then put a white pulsating doodad over someone's head, called Laughing Rose. This attack will deal massive damage and must be split between the raid. A red prey marker will go out over a random person's head. This can be passed between party members. Whoever gets this marker, take it to the tank. After about 6 seconds, Ravana will channel burst attacks called Serpanaka at the prey target. This ability is a frontal line attack that does moderate damage. After 4 Serpanakas, 4 orbs will spawn. These orbs tether themselves to party members. If they touch anyone, they will explode, dealing damage and putting a stack of vulnerability to everyone hit. To deal with this, have the group stack on the far opposite side of the tank. Once the orbs spawn, the group and tank will begin to move clockwise simultaneously, dealing with these 2 mechanics. This eliminates people getting hit with orbs while not cleaving anyone with Serpanaka. Once the orbs explode, re-engage the boss. He will enter his assault stance again, dealing and receiving extra damage. He will begin to cast Swift Liberation, and shortly after, Ravana bomb markers will appear over people's heads. New version of dive bombs. Okay, it's picture time. We use the markers here to make handling this mechanic very easy. A number of blue swords will appear over people's heads, indicating they are a dive bomb target. The dive bomb order is the number of swords. 1 sword, first dive, take it to A. 2 swords, second dive, take it to B. 3 swords is 3rd dive, take it to C, and 4 swords is 4th, take it to unmarked or open. And all non-Ravana bomb people follow the 4th to clear the middle. The dives start from the middle, then go to each location, so the order should be something like this: center to A to B, B to C, C to open. If you do not get a marker, move to open with the 4th Ravana bomb target. Now for all the markers except 4, once they disappear, run back to the middle. After the first one disappears, have the untargeted people run to the middle while the 4th target remains to take the hit. Whenever you are hit with a Ravana bomb, it will put a debuff on you, making the next Ravana bomb kill you instantly. So it is very important you do not get clipped. Immediately following this, fire slides and 4 purple doodads will go out. Find your marker location and immediately head there. Be very careful not to step in the fire slide because it will likely result in death because of the burn it puts on you. When he comes back down, he will begin to cast Final Liberation. Stay somewhat spread because 2 prey-like Ravana bomb markers will go out. Take these markers to 2 points next to each other. Okay, it's picture time again. Like I said earlier, you'll want to take these markers to 2 points next to each other. For example, A and B, or B and C, C and open, or open and A. The reason you want them next to each other is because at this time 3 purple doodads will also go out. The dives will come from the center to the prey. Once you see the purple doodads, 2 other people must take the prey off of the current prey targets. Once taken, the previous targets need to run in between the 2 locations that you chose so they are not clipped by the second Ravana bomb. It takes a lot of raid coordination, but to simplify things, we always have the tanks grab second preys even if they have the purple doodad, because they will live through the damage. If tanks get the first prey, there will be 3 people that do not get a Ravana bomb or a purple doodad. Those are the people that need to grab them off of tanks if that situation arises. Now immediately following this, stack inside the middle of the arena. Then once the fire goes away, run to the edge. After the AoE goes away, you can re-engage the boss. Now when Ravana returns, there will be another DPS check. He will cast Warlord Shield again. You can cheese this and melee LB to essentially skip this part, but breaking the shield manually still works well too. During this part, he will use Blinding Blade more frequently, so while learning, it is recommended for both tanks to be in front and dodge Tabasia appropriately and sharing each Blinding Blade. You can either kill Ravana at this point, or if his bloodlust meter fills, he will repeat the fight starting with the Pillars of Heaven mechanic. Simply perform all the mechanics the same, but upon reaching 10 minutes, he will begin to cast his Enrage. The cast is roughly 8 seconds and will wipe the raid if finished. Well guys, that's all I got. I hope this guide was helpful and will lead to some sweet first clears. But before I go, I want to share this blooper. Orient yourself.
1, 2, 3, 4. Get open.
Okay, move in, move in, move in.
Shit, I went the wrong way. Doc, go that way.
Oh, I jumped off the edge! Oh my god.
Damn.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Man, remember that time you walked off on Titan?
Oh
And then remember the time you walked off on Ravana?
For some reason I... Oh my god.